Hey, beautiful people. So I wanted to get something out about the four flights I took this week. Now, four flights in a week for me is quite a challenge still. I'm getting there, but it was psychologically and just in terms of the whole experience, it was quite challenging. So each flight was very different and presented its own issues, and I tried different strategies. So some of those I'll share. So the first flight was a morning flight. I think we left at 7 a.m. from Bangkok to Delhi, and I decided to go cold turkey. I tried to go without taking any of the medication that I've been taking when I fly, anti-anxiety medication. I did drink 3 or 4 glasses of champagne before we took off in the departure lounge. I was booked in business class, so it was nice and comfortable. The cabin crew were amazing, as they always are. But I did feel very anxious during the whole flight. I don't know why it was. I mean, I think I do know why. It was because I hadn't taken the tablets. So I think there's a lesson learned there for me that I'm not quite there yet. I need to still rely on any help I can get. The second flight was a shorter flight, well, still 2.5 hours from Delhi to Goa. It was a mid-afternoon flight, and I did take the medication this time, but I didn't drink any alcohol. It was economy class flight, so it was quite tight, but it was only 2.5 hours, and I didn't really enjoy that flight either, if I'm honest. Yeah, I don't know why. There's something about feeling a bit on edge the whole time. I can't really explain it. So that was my flights down to Goa. Then coming back from Goa to Bangkok, I had to take two flights. So the first flight was only supposed to be 55 minutes from Goa to Mumbai, and I did take the medication, and I had one beer, I believe. No, I didn't drink any alcohol. Sorry, at all. Um, and it was fine, other than the fact that when we got to, the flight was delayed by 3 hours, which was annoying in itself. But I had a huge stopover in Mumbai anyway, so I had plenty of time. But we were supposed to take 55 minutes, but we ended up circling for about half an hour above Mumbai, which I hated. That kind of constant feeling of being at a pitch and going round and round and round, and knowing that the reason you're going round and round and round is because there are so many other planes in the sky waiting to land, really, really taps into my anxiety. So we circled out over the sea for a while, and then we flew in and circled again inland over Mumbai before finally landing. And then the final flight was the flight from Mumbai back to Bangkok, which was a night flight. Left a little late, left at around midnight Mumbai time, and got in just after 5 here in Thailand. This time I took a second tablet, which was quite some time after the first, so there was no issue there. It was fine. It was at least 8 hours afterwards. But I did also have 3 glasses of champagne, and I felt completely relaxed. And I managed to get a last-minute upgrade actually on the aeroplane. So this is the tip: if you can't get a business flight, if you've booked economy, ask at every stage. I asked at check-in. The ground staff were having none of it. They said it was business class were full. They weren't very friendly. And then I asked at the gate, and they told me to ask on board. And I actually asked as I boarded the airplane, and I was greeted by the crew. I actually said I would happily pay for an upgrade if there were any spaces available in business class. And immediately the guy went to check for me, came back and told me it was only $240 to upgrade on a 4.5 hour flight, or 4 hour plus flight. I jumped at the opportunity, so I got my lie flat bed for that flight. It's a night flight, as I say. And I mentioned I had my 3 glasses of champagne, my lovely meal, and I felt so much more comfortable and actually managed to sleep, which was amazing. I pressed the button, and the bed went flat, and it was quite choppy up in places. We had some quite severe turbulence. They had to interrupt the service a couple of times, but they told us, they warned us. And to be honest, turbulence don't worry me so much. They're the least of, in the kind of pecking order of my anxiety. For some reason, turbulence are not nearest the top. I think it's because I do at least accept that these planes are designed to withstand these turbulence, and that it's not anything particularly bothersome for them. But anyway, after the initial turbulence that lasted about the first hour and a half or so, during the service, and I did put the bed down. I managed to get some sleep, which was just delicious, and I woke up an hour outside of Bangkok, and just in time to kind of get myself psyched for the landing, which is again another anxiety-ridden experience as the plane starts to dip and pitch forward, and you can see the ground coming, and you start turning this way and turning that way. So all of these different moments have their challenges, but I thought I would just catch you up on how I still am doing my best, experimenting with different ways to manage my fear of flying, my anxiety. I don't have to fly for another 4 months, which I'm taking as a blessing at the moment. I think I need some time to recover. And then I've got a bunch of flights this summer that I'll have to start to get my head around, including long-haul flights from Delhi to New York. I'm flying from New York to Mexico, flying from Mexico to Colombia, Colombia to Spain, from Spain to Paris, Paris back to, Paris to Istanbul, and then Istanbul back to Bangkok. But that's this summer's adventure, and I've got plenty of time to get my head around it. And I'm looking forward to visiting some amazing places. Alrighty, I hope some of that was helpful. Love and peace. Bye.